So before we really get into this, I have not picked out intro music. I have picked something, but I don't think you're going to like it.
Okay.
So it's up for discussion.
Why would you lead with that?
So it's up for discussion. It's just like it's music from a Game Boy game I played when I was a kid.
Okay.
The other thing was like I looked at like Babies Go Metal, Babies Go Metallica,
No.
like kids bops, but like it's.
I think I'm on board with Nintendo better.
Oh really?
I don't know.
It's from Super Mario Land, so we'll give it a shot. We can always make an adjustment, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, that doesn't sound terrible to me, but metal, I don't know about that.
Man, I wish we could just listen to a bunch of I wish the first episode could just be us picking out the music.
It can. It's your podcast. It's our podcast, I guess.
It's our podcast.
I'm doing most of the work here, I guess.
Yeah, you are. So this song's from Super Mario Land. It's called Muda Kingdom.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. You're not allowed to say anything until it's over, or until I bring it down. Hey, what'd you think?
I think that's perfectly pleasant.
Isn't it though? It reminded me of childhood. It reminded me of, I don't know. It reminded me kind of like had like a baby vibe to it.
I like it. I dig. Good choice.
Yeah, it is parentally unprepared. We are in week 8. We're calling this week 8, and my name's Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
And we're gonna be parents.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
That is still terrifying to say out loud.
Yeah, first time parents. Like I said, we're in week 8, and we're just kind of feeling our way through this. We don't know what to expect. I mean, we've got a lot of friends that have kids. We've got we know a lot of people with kids. You know,
I have a friend that is actually pregnant with me, about a week behind. So
yeah.
we are
Good resources. She's
resources.
already had one though.
Yeah, she's got one already, and this will be her second. So she knows what's coming, and she's there with me while we go through it.
Right.
So this is, and I'm working from home currently. So we are in a lovely setup for two people who are probably really, really scared about what's to come.
I am not as scared as I was when we first found out. We've known for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
We've known for about 3 weeks. And I was equally excited and scared at the same time, because we've been talking about this and trying for a little while. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sinking. It's sinking in, quote unquote. But I mean, as much as it can sink in right now, like right now, nothing's really changed other than, some of our habits, a little bit of our habits have changed. And, I don't know. It's interesting. Is that bothering you?
No, she's fine.
She's fine. We also have 3 dogs. So a little bit of background on us. We're in our upper mid 30s. We have 3 dogs. One's in a cone right now and really loud. The other one's a little Boston Terrier who's still a puppy.
She's our quarantine puppy.
She's our quarantine puppy. Exactly.
So
we got a quarantine baby. And now we have a quarantine puppy as well. Well, we had the quarantine puppy first.
And now we have a quarantine baby.
Now we have a quarantine baby.
Yeah, we got 2 of the dogs during quarantine. One is an inherit from a family member, and then the puppy was also, and then we found out we were having a baby too. So
and then we got one of our old pack, one of our new old pack, I guess we could call it. Ty.
Yeah.
He's our pit mix. So
yeah, he's our buddy where he holds down the fort and keeps everybody calm.
Yeah.
Calmo.
Yeah. You can see all of them on, actually, our Boston Terrier Bonnie has a Instagram.
Yeah.
And it is
Bonnie the Boston?
At the Boston Bonnie on Instagram.
He runs it. Sorry, I don't know the name that well.
Yeah. There is actually a Twitter account for this show. I haven't finalized the name on it though. Right now, right this second, it's at P Unprepared. At P Unprepared. But I think I'm gonna try. I don't know. Maybe it should be at Parentally Unprepared, like the whole thing.
Sure.
Right? I don't know how long they let you make the handle, because that's a pretty long handle.
That is a long handle.
The handle's too long. Dogs are fighting. Dogs are playing.
They love each other.
They do. They do.
Brothers and sisters with healthy competition.
So we will have a child roughly mid-April.
Yeah.
Mid-April. So we decided to document this in a way. I've got a background in podcasting and radio. You've been on several podcasts with me. You listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
You probably listen to more podcasts than me now.
Certainly, yeah.
And we were just like, why not document this process and then even continue it, because it's parentally unprepared. So when we actually become parents,
We can tell you all about how crazy this kid is.
yeah, we can tell you how insane the child is. So we're kind of giving it a shot. In parts we're documenting this so we can share this with other people later. We can share it with the kid later. If they're even interested, they're probably gonna be like, you guys are lame. Oops. We're not trying to curse. I got to bleep that now.
Yeah, you got to bleep a couple things already.
I got to bleep that too. I just
cut this whole part.
Just cut this whole part. No, I'm just gonna write down I'll write down the time. Note the time.
Mm-hmm.
Curse word. We're trying to make it semi-family friendly. Maybe not fully G-rated, but at least PG-13.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good level.
We're very.
Our kid's never going to listen to this though. They're going to think we're so lame for even having done this until they're 65.
Oh man, these
Until we're dead.
These curse words won't even be curse words. There was a point in time when crap was a curse word.
We should bring that one back.
Yeah. What was there were like ones from we were watching Deadwood not too long ago, and they had to update the language in Deadwood because stuff that like dagnammit. That was a really bad word back in the day. So they had to update it to something more horrible.
All right, this is not our pop culture podcast.
No, I know. Sorry, young child, if you're listening to this in the future.
Nobody knows what Deadwood is. They're just like, that must be some like horror movie.
That's some classic Western I saw on TCM the other day.
No way. The acting's way too bad in it.
Actually, acting's pretty good in it.
There's a couple of people in there that, anyway.
Yeah. We like to get off on tangents. You will probably actually be yelling at your podcast player / whatever you're listening to us on. Like, will you please get back on track? We're 8 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
We went to
Are you going to start saying we're pregnant?
It makes sense, right?
I don't know. Like, people get mean about that stuff. Like, they get very adamant about being dog parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you call the dogs your babies, people don't like when you say we're pregnant because the woman's the one that's pregnant. And like, just people get offended at the silliest stuff.
Yeah. What's more appropriate? Like,
I don't care.
How are you presenting it to people?
I don't know because I haven't talked to a whole lot of people about it.
When she comes close to you, rip that collar off of her. It's just, her tags are just like too jingle jangly.
Jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle.
Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Bonnie.
Now she can stealthily go tear something up.
Yeah. Now she can go soil the almost said it again. Soil the carpet somewhere.
We thought I was going to be the issue. It's you.
I'm so okay. We're good. But we had
Just
our
imagine the kids right here in a high chair.
We had our first sonogram this week.
Yes. We got to hear the baby's heartbeat.
We got to see the heartbeat. We got to see and hear the heartbeat.
Yeah.
And we got to see the baby.
Yeah.
And right now, how
tiny
big is
little nugget. It looks like a gummy bear, y'all. It's so weird. It's the size of a raspberry-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go by the 80s and 90s nostalgia on the what to expect while you're expecting app, it is genuinely a gummy bear.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I told I told a friend that I was like, hey, yeah, we got to see the mini burrito. I was just calling it the mini burrito, and he was like, what do you mean? Did you go get some food somewhere? Or I was like, it's like, no, the baby, man, the baby,
my kid,
my child. That's what I said, all caps. No, my child. And he said it probably more like a taquito, and then I was like, no, more like a large frijole.
That's about right.
The large frijole. But we got the sonogram done, and in a couple weeks we go back.
Yeah.
And we get to find out the sex of the baby via blood tests.
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of blood tests because we are in our 30s, and this is what you do when you're in your 30s and having a kid these days.
Yeah.
So
we have to be careful. We have to make sure things are good.
Yeah.
And that's stressful.
It's
on your mind.
I'm not stressing about it. So I chat with someone every week or every other week or so, and I'm not stressed. I'm just waiting for answers currently.
Right.
Like it's that
Waiting
kinda,
to confirm.
Yeah, it's waiting to get super excited. Like I'm already excited. You can't really stop that.
Yeah.
I'm already anxious. You can't really stop it. But like, I still feel handcuffed a little bit about it, just because I want to.
Handcuffed in what way?
Just like in my excitement, like I'm holding back
Okay.
everything. Like I'm not buying yet. Sorry. Go ahead and make another note.
Let's make another note.
I'm not buying anything yet. I'm, just we're not telling everybody just yet.
Yeah.
We're, not quite really like getting into the name game just yet.
Right now, close friends and parents know.
Yeah.
Close friends and parents know. And now that we've done the first sonogram,
Siblings.
a few more people, grandparents, a few more people will get to know.
Yeah.
When do we open the floodgates?
Oh, I would say mid-second trimester.
And that's how far along? I don't know trimesters.
Like, so 12 weeks is the end of your first trimester. And then, so you go 12 weeks from that. So 24 would be the end of your second trimester. So shoot for the middle, 18 weeks or so.
Okay. All right.
That's like, I say floodgates. Like, that's like, you can like put that on, damn it. You could put it on Instagram at that point.
Right.
But
we really,
I'm probably not going to post anything online. I haven't posted anything online in like 2 years, so I'm probably not going to start now.
Yeah.
But I know you're still real active on it, so.
Yeah. We really did battle about the at least I did in my head. I battled about how we should do the language on this podcast, because we're just normal people.
Yeah.
We're normal people. We talk, all of our friends, even our friends with kids.
We're grown children with
still talk like
bad mouths.
Yeah, we just still talk like people who are in college. But at the same time, I know
we don't talk like people who are in college now. They say stuff we would never understand.
Yeah, they say TikTok and things like that. But I guess kind of as a the point of all this was it's something that is very specific but very timeless, because people will always be getting pregnant until they decide the machines are going to.
I feel like your explanations for why we're doing a podcast about this, though, like I think it's totally relatable, and there's no reason to explain it, because
no, I'm not explaining it, but
I don't want to be self-congratulatory about it either. It's more just I want to document our time together, going through this together, and like how we feel about being parents individually,
and how unprepared we are.
How unprepared I am for all of this. Like, oh my gosh, like somebody started mentioning baby registries the other day, and I was just like, why? Like, why so soon? There's so much to get.
Well, and here's another caveat. Depending on when you're listening to this, there's a pandemic going on right now, and that adds a new layer of stress. It's already stressful, right? To be like, I'm bringing a child into the world. I'm going to be a parent. I'm going to be raising this child in the world that we know. But right now, there's the added layer of there's a pandemic going on. I have to be even more careful, because the doctor even said, just because we don't know how this affects, COVID-19 affects children, you're automatically high risk.
Yeah.
Because
they don't know if this is something akin to Zika virus, or if it's like the flu, or what, or if any of that. Like, there's a lot of unknowns on how
there's lasting weird effects to people who are grown ass people, so like it's also one of those things where they just gotta be careful. They don't know how it affects the organs of a developing child in the womb.
Exactly. And it's made me terrified to be in front of anyone that I haven't like fully known exactly where they've been for 2 weeks, which is insane.
Well, and thankfully there's a good few of our family that understand that. We do have some family that are a little on the edge about it, but
we have plenty of people that understand our level of caution about it. We have those same people, though, sometimes don't realize where they can get exposed. Like, just they don't realize what precautions to take outside away from us to not bring it home. Like, and that's the stuff that it's like, their intentions can be great, and yet they can still bring home this highly contagious like virus to me if they just want to like spend time with us and support us through this great period of our lives. And it's hard to get mad or fault, and you shouldn't get mad. Like there's nobody's trying to do anything maliciously that we know.
Right.
It's just frustrating because no matter how much you like explain it to people, one, you feel crazy. You feel crazy that you're having to take this many precautions.
You already feel crazy because you're having a baby too.
Exactly. And like my hormones are out of whack. But at the same time, like some people, it's just not going to click with like, you know, where you touch things that are germy, where you breathe the air, where hundreds of people pass through a day.
There's a reason why the cold and the flu go around like crazy when it's cold and flu season, is because it's mostly because people touch something and rub their eye, or touch something and do and
can we just put me in a bubble and I can go wherever I want?
That would be great.
We can just tell everybody.
I would love that. I would love to be in a bubble, just to run around like a hamster ball.
Yeah.
Just run people over.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Target would be so fun.
I think they'd kick us out.
Get out of my way, old lady.
Gladys, you got to move. You got to move.
Yeah.
Coming through.
Just race to that back corner, that back seasonal corner of Target. Just both take two different paths. Try to get there first.
Yeah, I could do that.
That'd be fun. That'd be a good time.
I know which path I'm calling.
Right. But I don't know. I feel like it would. I just feel like this is a very interesting time to be having a child. I think whether there's a pandemic or not, it's always an interesting time to have a child. But this just adds another thing to the mix, something else that's on your brain when there's already a ton of stuff on your brain.
Yeah, it's hard.
So, we're being as careful as we can. I know that, that's not the case for everybody, but, it's also relative to what you think careful is too.
I think that also being pregnant is like an isolating event in your life anyway, because you're already like, no matter what's going on in your life, you want to be careful.
Right.
Like, and you're not as social because like with our life, especially like lots of things are tied to breweries and wineries and like going out and having cocktails and seeing and catching up at happy hours and things like that. And you can still go do those things, but like, you're not going to do as many of them now.
Right.
Like, especially not with it, even if the pandemic wasn't going on, but especially because it is. So it's already kind of and people have told me this, so like you kind of get a little bit socially isolated. Excuse me.
It takes a low volume situation and turns it even lower because of the pandemic.
Exactly. Like, so I'm trying my best to be social through Zooms and things like that, and like keep the social aspect of my life so I don't feel like I'm literally living in our house under house arrest.
Yeah.
But
I think that, man, it kind of felt like that before we found out we were pregnant too. Like,
a little.
It already felt like that. You've been working from home since March.
Yeah, but I think it wasn't as bad because we've been doing a lot of home projects like everybody in the country, it seems like lately. Like Lowe's is having record number of years.
Sure.
Or a record number year. And so it seems like there's been so much to do here. I haven't felt cooped up yet, but we just kind of wrapped up most of that. Like right as we were finding out we're pregnant, and I'm just like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, do I purge my closet? Do I go through family photos? Like, guess I got to train this dog. Like,
yeah,
occupying time is a big deal because I'm not in. Like, you're into video games, you can occupy time. It's not my thing so much. So,
well, I'm still going on site to work as well, so
yeah.
I don't have the same kind of downtime. You know?
And I like video games, but not like you. Like, I can only sit so long and play it.
Play the right video games.
I've played Animal Crossing, sir.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get cozy with that Switch as soon as, like, when you start getting less and less mobile.
Oh God.
You're gonna have to just get cozy with the Switch.
I need my laptop back up and running so I can like do some organizational and planning tasks from bed or whatever.
Well, we also, I mean, you kind of started last week with your mom. You guys started kind of working on the closet upstairs.
Yeah,
we know what room's going to be the baby's room and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've got an older house, so there's like no closet space. So my closet's in a different room, but that room happens to be the baby's room. So I gotta.
You're occupying 1.5 closets right now.
Yeah, I gotta
roughly 1.5.
I gotta get that down to one closet, which is actually smaller than the baby's closet somehow, some way, because we have to make room for my child.
My children's. Is that still weird? Does that feel weird to say still?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me.
I almost feel like I'm faking it. Like, it feels very impostery to be like my kid, my child. Like, it feels so not me yet.
Well, it's also, so I even told you.
That's not associated with my life yet.
Right. When we found out, we were pretty sure before we took a test we were fairly certain. But once you were asking me like, well, how do you feel now? I was like, well, I just got used to calling you wife. Like, we've been married for
9.5 years.
No, we've been together 9.5 years. We've been married.
Sorry.
We've been married coming up on
5
years.
Yeah.
This will be 5th.
Yeah.
This will be 5th.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, bruh.
Holy crap-a-roni, man.
We've had Ty almost 5 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like that was maybe 2. I keep wanting to say 2 or 3, you know, but we're coming up on 5. So we had our time, you know, we're close to 10 years together. We've had our time to do things without kid, but like even after 5 years, it's still like, oh yeah, that is my wife. Like it's still a little weird. But now to talk about things as to go from when I always said when and if we have kids, I would always preface things like that. You know, now it's like when this kid gets here.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, we didn't know. We didn't know if it was even possible for us to have kids for a little while. And so I was in the when and if, like, category as well. And now we're like, oh, my goodness.
And I'm sure there's
like,
there's a lot of people out there in a similar situation to us. Because, I mean, we're kind of, you know, this is probably going to appeal more to people our age, you know, roughly our age. So
there's a lot of people in our generation that are waiting till later in life to have kids.
Yeah, and we definitely did that. And then once you start trying,
you kind of go, oh no,
you expect it's going to happen immediately because you even brought it up. You're like, it's so weird because you spend all this time leading up to this point trying not to get pregnant.
Yeah.
You go through, you know, obviously you go through school, you graduate high school, you go into college, you spend all that time making sure, you know, we're not going to get pregnant, you know, like all this stuff. And so now it does.
Like as a girl too, like, especially as a girl that wants to start a career or something like that, you're just like,
yeah,
people are just like, don't do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. And we have plenty of people that we know that had kids younger in life too. It just, I know both of us come from divorced families, so it was always we got to make sure it's right, like the right time, perfectly stable, right person. And for a half second there, we were like, damn it, did we wait too long?
Right.
Like,
so
it's interesting.
It is. It's very interesting. I'm, like I said, I'm kind of getting used to the fact that like that's what's coming up, but I still think, you know, not enough has changed yet. We're in week 8.
Yeah.
And not enough has changed yet. Like we're still
like, I'm not quite showing or
there's you're not showing. You've had some morning sickness.
Yeah, that was my fault. Ladies, if you're listening and in any way pregnant, don't take your prenatal vitamin in the morning on an empty stomach. That was a bad idea.
Right.
And they tell you not to do that, but I was half asleep and knew I'd forgotten it the night before, and then I ruined my day.
Just completely ruined your day.
It was not fun.
Well, and you've had a couple instances where you're like, I'm in the mood for this, and then we got something like food-wise, and you're kind of like,
never mind.
Do it.
Never
Can't
mind.
do it.
Having yogurt.
Having yogurt, doing something different, cottage cheese, mango, something, get it away from me.
Yeah, the food aversions are very real. I've been pretty fortunate in not having terrible morning sickness like some of my friends have. And my friend currently is not having a great time. But yeah, the food aversions are like the wind. Like,
well, and like you haven't had a ton of them, but when they happen, you're like, I got to get out of this room. Yeah. I have to get away from this smell.
Like, I love bacon and egg sandwiches so much. They might be one of my favorite things on the planet right now. Chicken and eggs are almost completely off the table. Like, he made an egg sandwich, and I was like, get the hell away from me. He was like, you love these. I was like, not today. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not digging it. It's not happening. Body changes, anything going on?
Boobs are sore and growing. Yeah. Like, baby's gonna have plenty of resources, hopefully. And I've lost some weight because just our food changes. I can eat like half of what I used to.
Yeah, you definitely have made more meals out of your normal one meals than
just I
before.
Get full, and that's when I start feeling sick. So
well, and also, I mean, right now we're not taking in nearly, like, I'm not taking in as much alcohol as I did before.
Oh yeah,
I might have one or two, like, you know, every other day or so, but like you're not having any at all, which is very different, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and that, I mean, my eating schedule and all that is fine. It's just so, like, I kind of like it. I want to stick to this, but it's so crazy what shifted it all. It's just, I'm like,
Right.
can I keep these food aversions?
Right.
Like they're giving me a level of self-control I didn't know I had before. So
Yeah. But there's so much to consider, and it's still all sinking in for us. We've
I
known
meant
for
to tell
3
you
weeks.
earlier too. I want brownies, by the way.
You're craving brownies.
Well,
Is that the craving of the week?
No.
Should we have a sounder for craving of the week on this podcast?
I don't think I could.
This is the craving of the week.
I don't think you could call it. You could do a craving of the day we record.
Craving of the hour.
Yeah. I think if I had to be super serious about what right now would make my day, would be a slice of key lime pie.
Is that what you're getting with dinner?
Probably.
Yeah. You were reading. We were trying to decide on what we're gonna have for dinner after we record tonight, and you read out key lime pie on one of the menus you were reading, and I love key lime pie.
It's your favorite.
I love it.
It's not my favorite, but I want it really, really bad right now.
Bad. You can have everything in a key lime pie.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's been an adjustment, right?
Yeah,
Figuring out what you can and can't have. Like, there's a lot of things you love that you can't have.
Okay. So
Alcohol aside.
Alcohol aside, most of my absolute favorite foods are on the no-fly list for pregnant women, like rare steaks, sushi. Which actually, I have some pregnant friends that debate that, but I'm gonna just be safe and stay away from it. Charcuterie, oysters,
raw cheeses,
chicken liver, like. All of this
organ meat
of any type is just all of it's off the table.
She likes that crazy stuff, man. I'm not all about it.
Steak tartare, like carpaccio, all of it. Can't have anything.
Fully cooked 5-year-old meals, like the kind of stuff toddlers eat.
No, I mean, and I've been trying to make the best of it because I adore seafood, and you can still have shellfish, thank God. So I've been having crab and shrimp and crawfish, and you might not supposed to have crawfish because that stuff's dirty, but
bottom feeders.
Yeah. But like flounder, and I think tonight I might get something that's like, lemon capery fishy. Like I'm craving seafood like crazy. So if I can't have chicken, the options are limited.
True. So we're still trying to feel our way through this. We're, like I said,
everything right now is just centered around food. This is that part of the pregnancy.
Right.
It's what I can't have, what I can have, what I don't ever want again right now.
Yeah, and so again, a lot of this is documenting what's going on with us, how we're feeling, mostly how you're feeling because you're the one getting all the bodily changes.
You'll feel some things.
I'm sure I'll feel a lot, but we're still even struggling to kind of figure out what kind of format. We just wanted to kind of get on here and just start talking and see kind of where it went. We don't know if we want to maybe we'll bring in the what to expect type of app to kind of give us some stuff. We're trying to keep this thing to 30 minutes or so.
Well, okay. Just a couple factors just before we throw in some what to expect.
Sure. So, I mean, we're not hard pressed on a time. I don't care if we go over.
So the baby is developing retinas this week.
Ooh.
Okay, so you have dark brown eyes and I have light blue eyes, and there's an office pool going in our family as to what color the baby's eyes are going to be.
One brown, one blue.
I hope. Oh my God, heterochromia would be awesome. Cool.
Almost said the F word again.
Yeah.
We're trying. Listen.
Actually, I just thought about this. I don't want the baby to have heterochromia because you had a dog that had heterochromia, and I swear I'll never hear the end of it if that kid's eyes come out the way Bo's did. And let's see. Baby is...
What else is forming? Just the...
So starting to get arms and leg flappers.
Oh.
It's got little
flippies.
Little flippers right now.
It looks like a manatee, a small manatee.
It does look like a little small manatee. It's so cute. Lips, nose, and eyelids are forming.
Oh.
And obviously we got a heartbeat a couple of weeks ago. So
it's fast too.
Yeah.
174 beats per minute. Is that what she said?
Yeah. So you can start hearing the heartbeat around 5 to 6 weeks. And we got sonogram on like the day of 8 weeks.
The day of 8 weeks, yeah. We're inside of our 8th week right now.
Yeah. And the baby's starting to move a little. Like I won't feel it for months, but baby's starting to
get a little movement.
Starting to jiggle.
Yeah.
Wiggle.
How weird is that going to be the first time you feel that baby move?
Oh, it's going to feel like an alien. Well, a lot of people tell me it feels like gas bubbles in the beginning, and then you start figuring out it's not the baby. Or it's not gas, it's the baby.
Uh-huh.
So I want to sign off with that Wiggle song.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
No, I'm joking.
No, LMFAO. No.
but yeah, like the baby's starting to twitch and kind of like get little nervous system movements going. So
Interesting. What else? What else?
that's about it. Like I can go back to what was going on last week was kind of an interesting week. Baby was the size of a blueberry at 7 weeks. So I got a friend that's there right now, and the baby's umbilical cord starts to form. Then you start getting the.
Did we see that in the picture?
Yeah.
Was that the umbilical cord?
Yeah, we could see the umbilical. It's a little tiny thing right now. It was like that big. Well, I'm holding up my fingers like an inch apart. But it was probably even half an inch if you're looking on the big TV screen they put us on.
Yeah.
It's tiny, but it's there.
That's another thing that's weird right now. Like
baby's got webbed hands and feet.
Oh, creepy. It's like the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's another thing that's weird too. I don't, obviously I don't know whenever you're listening to this, if it's going to be something that you're going through at the time, but with a pandemic going on, I cannot be as involved as I would want to be even.
Oh yeah. You have to.
I get to come in. So how this worked the first time we went, you're actually going to check on the dog. How this worked the first time we went together. I pulled into the parking lot, and essentially we just had to send her inside to get set up for the sonogram. And when it was time, they were supposed to call me to come in there and see the sonogram. But I left my phone. Did we have an accident?
No, the little jerk's just destroying the carpet at the top of the stairs.
Oh. Little puppies.
Unattended puppy, our fault.
Unattended puppy. So I was supposed to sit in the car until I got a call. I was dumb and left my phone at home. So like right before they took her back, she had to come to the front door and like wave me in.
They were looking at me like I was an idiot too.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was pregnant girl central. It was weird.
It's an OB office.
I know, but I was like, holy crap. I just didn't think about it,
Everybody's there to make sure the plumbing's doing all right or make sure the baby's all right.
So they call me in there. We go and we wait for just a few minutes in the hall, like in a little waiting area, socially distanced, and then with masks on, and then we get pulled in. We do the whole thing, and she had a bunch more stuff to talk to the doctor about, just kind of preliminary questions and just where you're at and stuff like that. I had to go back to the car, so
I have to remember all this on my own without like a second set of ears to keep me on track.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna start recording. I think
it might be a good idea.
Yeah,
just so you have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's an adjustment as well. So we don't get to go through this process as easily or as normally as a lot of people have in the past. I don't know how long that's going to be until that changes. Probably until until we've already had the kid.
I don't expect us to have a normal birth either.
Yeah, I mean, it's as it stands right now, I'm the only person that can be in there. I mean, I think before you could have a couple of people in there.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you'd want a bunch of people in there.
I don't know either. Like you always see the entire family's just sitting there for the whole thing. I'm like, no, get out.
Like, I wouldn't mind the option, like, because I know everything will change the second I go into labor, and I will change my mind 400 times to like be like, all right, you leave, bring mom. All right, mom, you're driving me crazy. You leave, get Jeremy. Like,
yeah.
that would be a great option to have, but I think I'll make it. Hopefully,
right.
Knock on wood.
So these next few weeks, or these next several weeks, are going to be us documenting this, and we'll be back on a weekly basis to talk with you guys and let you know what we're up to and what's going on with us. And I really do encourage everyone to reach out to us via our Twitter account. It is just search out Parentally Unprepared. I will have the actual @ set by the time we record again. So I'm going for @ Parentally Unprepared. Hopefully that's not taken. But right now it's @ P Unprepared. So it sounds weird. But yeah, so just look us up on Twitter Parentally Unprepared. So like I said, I'm looking forward to documenting this with you. It's going to be interesting. Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's a change. It's a different thing to talk about, and you'll see. We'll struggle very hard not to stray into current events and pop culture, because that's usually what we talk about.
Yeah. It's our minds race a lot. That's all.
Our minds race a lot, and we're used to doing 2 and 3 hour podcasts. So we're trying to keep it short and manageable for everybody, so that it's easy to digest. It's not something you're having to be like, I need to commit this much time to.
You got to explain it to everybody. They get it.
I know. I like my words.
You do.
I like hearing myself talk.
Yes, you do.
That's why I'm doing yet another podcast.
This baby's going to love the sound of your voice.
Oh, man. It's going to be great.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I was thinking like when we get further along, you just get a third set of headphones and you just put them on your pregnant belly while we record these.
That's not a bad idea.
It's kind of neat, right? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
How well, maybe we can figure this out later, but how well does sound travel through to the womb?
Babies can hear. Yeah, that's why people used to do that with music all the time. Like my mom did it with music. She put like a little set of headphones or a stereo right next to me.
But do they have a suggested volume you put it on?
I mean, I think not obnoxiously loud is all you really need to do.
You don't want to be like
I don't want to feel
you don't
vibrations.
You don't want bump in the trunk kind of thing.
No.
You don't want license plate rattling bass.
No.
Going through the womb.
If it reverberates through my tailbone, you've probably turned it up too much.
That poor child.
Yeah.
This poor child to be. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Again, look us up on Twitter if you want to interact and you got any questions or even comments, suggestions for those that have been through this before.
Constructive comments and suggestions. Thank you only.
Yeah, well, we can filter that out.
Yeah,
we can screen our phone calls.
I like it.
We can screen them. But thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you next week for week 9.
Oh, Lord.
My goodness.
Yes.
Bye.